So, Boulder, Colorado, you probably think of scenic mountains, maybe some very enthusiastic cyclists. It's a place known for its calm, its progressive vibe. But yesterday, Sunday, June 1st, 2025, that peace was violently interrupted. Right in the heart of downtown, on the usually bustling Pearl Street Mall, something terrible happened. An event meant to be about peace became a scene of horror. It's a stark reminder that even in the most tranquil places, the unthinkable can occur, leaving a community in shock and searching for answers. The attack happened around 1:26 p.m. local time. Imagine this. Families are out, people are enjoying a weekend afternoon. Suddenly, calls flood into the Boulder police. Reports described a man, armed and dangerous, setting people on fire. Chaos erupted where moments before there was just the normal Sunday buzz. The Pearl Street Mall, a place for community gathering and leisurely strolls, was transformed into a scene of fear and emergency response. It's the kind of news you never expect to hear, especially not from Boulder. The group targeted was Run for Their Lives. Now these aren't professional athletes, not in the way you might think. They are a group of demonstrators, and they gather every week. Their purpose? To peacefully advocate for the release of hostages still held by the Hamas terrorist group. They are consistent, they are peaceful, and they are dedicated. Their weekly presence is a quiet call for action, a plea for human dignity. They were simply exercising their right to gather and speak for those who cannot. The victims of this horrific assault were senior citizens. 6 individuals, their ages ranging from 67 to a truly remarkable 88 years old. They were hospitalized with injuries from the flames, burns primarily, and other wounds sustained in the attack. These were people who came out to stand for a cause they believe in, peacefully. Instead, they found themselves in the path of violence. It's a heartbreaking outcome for anyone, let alone for elders in the community trying to make their voices heard for a peaceful cause. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, quickly got involved. They identified the suspect as Mohammed Sabri Solomon. He's 45 years old. According to reports, during this terrifying attack, Solomon was heard shouting "Free Palestine." This statement, yelled amidst such violence, points to a politically charged motive. The FBI is now investigating this as a targeted terror attack. It's a serious label, and it suggests a premeditated act designed to instill fear far beyond the immediate victims, which is just awful. Now let's talk about how this attack was carried out. It wasn't a simple act of aggression. It was something far more sinister. Solomon allegedly used a makeshift flamethrower. Yes, you read that right, a flamethrower. He is also accused of throwing an incendiary device directly into the crowd of demonstrators. These are weapons designed to cause maximum terror and harm. The use of fire as a weapon is particularly horrifying, conjuring images of intense pain and suffering. It's a level of violence that's deeply disturbing to comprehend in a public space. Adding another layer to this story, the White House has commented on Solomon's background. According to their statements, Solomon is an illegal immigrant. It's reported that he had overstayed his visa. Stephen Miller, a White House official, further stated that the current Biden administration had granted Solomon a visa, and after he allegedly overstayed that visa illegally, he was then granted a work permit. These details are now part of the larger conversation surrounding the attack, raising questions about immigration processes and national security, which is a whole other can of worms. After the attack, witnesses on the scene were quick to point out Solomon to the authorities. He was apprehended and, according to Boulder Police Chief Stephen Redfern, was taken to the hospital. His injuries were described as minor. This often seems to be the case, doesn't it? The perpetrator walks away with minor issues while the victims face severe, life-altering injuries. The contrast is stark and deeply unsettling. The swift action of witnesses and police at least ensured he was quickly taken into custody, preventing further harm. Colorado's Attorney General, Phil Weiser, didn't mince words about this incident. He described the attack as a hate crime. That's a significant designation. Weiser emphasized a crucial point: violence is never, ever, the answer when it comes to settling differences or expressing grievances. He stressed that disagreements must be handled through peaceful means, not through acts of terror that target innocent people. His statement reflects a commitment to justice and a condemnation of hate-fueled violence, which is what you want to hear from your leaders. Boulder Police Chief Stephen Redfern also spoke about the immediate aftermath. He recounted how officers, upon arriving at the scene, encountered multiple injured victims. The scene must have been chaotic and distressing for everyone involved, including the first responders. Chief Redfern confirmed that witnesses played a key role in identifying the suspect, which led to his quick apprehension. This highlights the importance of community vigilance and cooperation with law enforcement in moments of crisis. It's good people stepped up. The FBI's involvement underscores the severity of the situation. They are officially investigating this as a targeted terror attack. This isn't just a random act of violence in their eyes. It's seen as a deliberate assault aimed at a specific group with the intent to terrorize. When the FBI uses language like that, it signals a deep dive into the suspect's motives, background, and any potential connections. Several blocks in downtown Boulder were closed off as bomb squads and K-9 units swept the area, a necessary precaution. The broader community in Boulder and indeed across the nation has reacted with shock and profound sadness. This attack has, understandably, instilled fear. However, alongside that fear, there's a growing chorus calling for unity. People are emphasizing the need for peaceful dialogue, even when, and especially when, discussing deeply divisive international conflicts. The sentiment is clear: violence solves nothing and only breeds more pain. The challenge now is to channel that shock into constructive conversations, not more anger. This attack on the Pearl Street Mall has serious implications for community safety, not just in Boulder, but everywhere. Public spaces, places where people gather for protest or leisure, can suddenly feel vulnerable. An event like this shatters the collective sense of security. It forces communities to ask hard questions about how to protect open gatherings while upholding the right to peaceful assembly. It's a tough balance to strike, making sure people are safe without turning public squares into fortresses. We need to talk about hate crimes specifically. Attorney General Weiser called this a hate crime, and that's important. Hate crimes don't just harm the individuals directly targeted, they send a ripple of fear throughout entire communities. Whether based on religion, ethnicity, or political belief, these acts aim to intimidate and silence. The societal impact is corrosive. It divides people, breeds suspicion, and can lead to cycles of recrimination if not addressed with strong, unified condemnation and a commitment to justice. The path forward, though difficult, must be paved with peaceful conflict resolution. This incident, born out of what appears to be hate and extremism, is the polar opposite of that. For deeply contentious issues like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that the suspect reportedly referenced, dialogue is the only way. Shouting, violence, and flamethrowers achieve nothing but pain and further division. Finding common ground, or at least fostering mutual understanding, requires talking, listening, and a shared rejection of violence as a means of expression. Ultimately, the response to such horrific acts of violence must be a widespread call for unity. Community leaders, residents, and officials are echoing this sentiment, standing together against hate, supporting the victims, and reaffirming shared values of peace and respect are crucial steps. Violence cannot be allowed to dictate the narrative or to shatter the bonds of community. Boulder, and indeed all communities facing such tragedies, must choose solidarity over fear and dialogue over destruction. It's not easy, but it's essential.